Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and this is a fascinating topic. As it turns out, Ripple has been secretly dominating the world of stablecoins in terms of volume literally for years. Now, we found out somewhat recently that because of the nonsense with the SEC v. Ripple case, that Ripple has been using Tether and USDC in payment flows specifically as a bridge currency in instances specifically where, because of legal problems, the United States, they couldn't use XRP. So we've known that for a while now. I can't remember exactly when that news broke. I don't know if it's maybe at some point within the last year or so. I just can't recall off the top of my head. But set that aside. Turns out, for years and years and years, Ripple actually has been using USDC and Tether in a very notable way. Now, the reason that I personally, my ears kind of perked up when I heard what I'm about to show you, is because the degree to which Ripple has had an impact on those stablecoins leads me to believe that if they're putting their full weight specifically behind their own stablecoin, RL USD, which is about to launch, you could have some serious flows right out the gate, attracting attention, and making it very clear that this is a serious competitor right out the gate. And we're early enough along in the world of crypto, with this industry only being 15 years old at this point, that there's still room for a player like Ripple to jump in and dominate. And this matters for you listening as an XRP holder, because XRP is literally required for the Ripple stablecoin to exist on the XRP Ledger, and XRP is used for literally every single one of those stablecoin transactions. The XRP Ledger code requires that. So if there is success, broad success with this stablecoin, and it is going to be on other blockchains, including ETH to start, but if there's wide adoption of this, that is good for you. This is something that's like, even this alone, to be honest with you, even if, say this, there's plenty of use cases for XRP, but say this were the only one, so that it's that XRP is gas for RL USD, if it's widely adopted, that's enough to ensure the long-term viability of XRP and the XRP Ledger, if it's functionally useful. So it's another thing. This ecosystem just keeps getting better and better, and the toxic Bitcoin maximalists have no idea what's happening right in front of them. Also have this headline. It's from the Crypto Basic. Ripple CEO expresses surprise about XRP ETF timing, expects product to attract capital into XRP. And so this is going to piggyback off of a story that I was covering quite literally yesterday and getting perspective from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. But it's yet another thing that is going to help to ensure the long-term viability of XRP and the XRP Ledger. Functionally, all of this matters unquestionably. Now, to set the table here a little bit, because Brad Garlinghouse ends up referencing this in an interview that just happened the other day. Remember the bank collapses of early last year, early 2023? Here's a headline from CNBC, March 11th, 2023. Stablecoin USDC breaks dollar peg after firm reveals it has $3.3 billion in SVB exposure. The U.S. cryptocurrency firm Circle's USD coin lost its dollar peg and fell to a record low Saturday morning after the company revealed it has nearly 8% of its $40 billion in reserves tied up at the collapsed lender Silicon Valley Bank. USDC is known as a stablecoin, which means the value of the virtual currency is supposed to be pegged to a reference currency. USDC is designed to trade at $1, but it fell below 87 cents on Saturday, according to data from CoinDesk. So I was just using that as a little table setting there to remind you that that's a thing that happened, because as it turns out, this is one of the things that prompted Ripple to move forward in creating their own stablecoin. They're like, we could do it better. That wouldn't have happened with us. That's basically the sentiment here. And so there was this video clip from Brad Garlinghouse on the Thinking Crypto channel. And one of the things he said is, hey, we were minting 20% of all USDC. And so he noted that Ripple's been using Tether and USDC literally for years, is what he said. And he said there was a time where their volumes were so intense that they accounted for 20% of all USDC. That was meant to, like 20%. That's insane. From one player in the crypto space. But that does kind of also go to show you how big of a player Ripple is. That's intense. Now, we don't have a ton of the specifics. XRP community member Wrath of Kahneman raised some pretty reasonable questions here. He says that this raises so many questions. At what point 20% of USDC minted? Is it daily? When? How long? How much money do they move? What currency pairs? What exchanges? Assume United States. Why no USDC on the XRP Ledger? Why no RL USD launch on Coinbase? Well, I think that these are excellent questions. Perhaps the reason there's no RL USD on Coinbase, and maybe it does happen one day, but I've been wondering maybe that has something to do with Coinbase's connection with USDC and the fact that that's in their monetary interest and they're pushing that. Do they want RL USD on there? Probably not. I don't know for sure if it'll ever happen. Like maybe it would come at some point. I don't know because I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I'm just sitting here wondering from the outside, if I'm Coinbase and USDC is part of my bread and butter, do I want to rock the boat there? Now, on the flip side, why no USDC on the XRP Ledger? Well, if you say, well, yeah, of course they don't want to because Ripple's going to, they're launching their own stablecoin here. They're the enemy. Why would we want to be doing anything to prop up the XRP Ledger? I'm like, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. It's not about XRP and the XRP Ledger at that point. They don't care. XRP, it's required for the Ripple stablecoin to exist, but that doesn't matter. Not to them. That doesn't matter to USDC. Understand, if that's the logic that you think makes sense, then you're arguing that USDC is saying, we're going to cede this ground to Ripple. We don't want to compete on this, even though the XRP Ledger is one of the most successful and adopted blockchains in all of crypto history, with a huge community and tons of potential beyond that, beyond what's already achieved. We're just going to cede that ground to Ripple. Do you think it makes sense to do that? Because look, the XRP Ledger, it's decentralized. Ripple does not own this thing. So if Ripple wants to compete on the XRP Ledger, why would that preclude others in the stablecoin game from also competing? It doesn't. As far as why they're not there, you tell me. I mean, you could make an argument that at least over the last several years, if they haven't, it may be because the SEC v. Ripple case, maybe there's something plausible there, okay. But who knows? So again, to be a fly on the wall in one of their meetings, that would be interesting. And so I'm not sure. I'm just sharing some thoughts out loud here. But I don't think it's impossible for that to come. We'll see here. But look, like I was saying at the outset of the video, the point is, I mean, not the point, but a major point, is that if Ripple having that type of volume, and if they're just plugging it all into their own stablecoin now, my God, what do you think that's going to do to instill confidence and bring attention to that particular stablecoin? That percentage is stunning to me. 20%. And even if it wasn't sustained, and I doubt that it was, that was probably the peak. That's what he's citing. But either way, those are some big numbers, whatever they are. I know we don't know the specifics, but they have to be big. Just understanding the scale of USDC. So, take it for what it's worth here. But Ripple is in this unique position where they have basically more money than God, and they can do whatever the hell they want. They're like one of the strongest and historically most important players in the entire crypto space, and they're doing this, and it absolutely helps XRP. I just think it's exciting. And then there's this: Ripple CEO expresses surprise about XRP ETF timing, expects product to attract capital into XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse reacts to the filings of multiple XRP ETFs, speculating that the product would attract more capital into the XRP ecosystem. October 2024 started with a bang for the XRP community after Bitwise applied with the SEC to launch an exchange-traded fund, ETF, for the 7th biggest cryptocurrency by market cap. On October 2nd, the crypto asset manager submitted an S1 document with the SEC declaring its interest in launching an XRP ETF. 1 week later, famous investment firm Canary Capital joined the race to launch a similar product for XRP. Speaking in a recent interview on the Thinking Crypto podcast, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said he was surprised by the timing of the XRP ETF filings. Both applications were filed within a week, at a time when the XRP community was deliberating whether the SEC would appeal the Ripple ruling. Although the SEC appealed the Ripple verdict just hours after Bitwise filed an XRP ETF, it did not prevent Canary Capital from submitting its own XRP ETF application. While Garlinghouse said he was surprised by the timing of the XRP ETF filings, the Ripple CEO said he was not surprised by the outcome. Garlinghouse suggested that his prediction about XRP ETF is gradually playing out. Recall that after the SEC approved multiple Bitcoin ETFs in January, Garlinghouse speculated that it is only a matter of time before the industry sees a similar product for XRP and other assets like ETH. Yeah, so I'll pause and note, I've been saying that forever too. I was saying that before the Bitcoin ETF got approved. There were times when I'd randomly mention it years ago. Of course it's going to happen. It's a virtual inevitability as the asset class matures, of course. To me, it was always easy to see this was going to happen. Anyway, piece continues. Currently, the SEC has approved Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs with 2 potential issuers seeking to launch a similar product for XRP. And then we get to the news from Grayscale, which again, I was sharing in a video literally just yesterday. And so piece continues. Additionally, Garlinghouse commended Grayscale's move to file for the conversion of its digital large cap fund containing 5 crypto assets, including XRP and Bitcoin, to a spot-based ETF. According to him, this move validates his prediction that investors are seeking basket-style crypto investment options. Interestingly, Garlinghouse believes that Grayscale's basket ETF will attract more capital to the XRP ecosystem and the broader crypto market. Yeah, so I will pause again to note, I was saying that well before. I was saying in 2023, and I'm sure earlier, yes, of course there would be baskets of various cryptocurrencies that would become ETFs, of course, and that XRP would be a part of some of these. Why wouldn't it? It makes all the sense in the world. And this is great because it requires the actual purchase of XRP by the issuer of the ETF, which directly, what Grayscale does in this case, should this happen, that will directly impact the supply and demand dynamics of XRP. And that will be the case for any ETF for which XRP is a part of. That's fantastic. It's not going to result in moon prices because of this particular thing immediately, but over a span of years and decades. Oh yeah, that's going to be a whole boatload of money that flows into the ecosystem, directly resulting in XRP itself getting snatched up that otherwise would not be bought. And then they wrap up by stating his confidence stems from the significant capital inflow into Bitcoin ETFs. For context, the multiple Bitcoin ETFs have attracted an inflow of $21 billion since they went live on January 10th. And nonetheless, the Ripple CEO projected that these funds would attract more capital in the future. Yep, spot on. To me, it's always sounded obvious, and here we are, it's playing out. XRP is so undervalued right now. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.